I am on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology. Connect with me on Patreon and we will grow, and I will give you much more deep insights on Vedic astrology, and lot more secrets will be shared there. Hello Seekers, welcome to Punneits Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Now Mercury, the planet of communication, the ruler of Gemini and Virgo, is moving back to the Karka Rashi, Cancer zodiac sign from Leo. From 5th of August, Mercury will become retrograde. Then on 22nd August, Mercury will fall back to Karka Rashi, Cancer zodiac sign. And then on 29th of August, Mercury will become direct in the sign of Cancer in Ashlesha Nakshatra. So this oscillation is the oscillation from Magha to Ashlesha. It is again crossing the Gandanta, but this time while it is crossing Gandanta, it is combust. Mercury is going to be combust because Sun will be moving from Cancer zodiac sign to the Leo zodiac sign, and Sun will be crossing the Leo as its own zodiac sign. The heat of the Sun will make the Mercury go combust. You can understand how volatile this is. So one planet is going from Cancer to Leo, crossing the Gandanta. In the other planet Mercury coming back, meeting the same planet Sun, coming back to the Cancer zodiac sign. This means that a lot of things may go wrong. Your communication may go wrong, your planning may go wrong, your decision making may go wrong. So you need to visualize everything beforehand. You need to go slow, create proper structure, take one step at a time. Because if you force yourself into something, then there will be a lot of mistakes, and from the perspective of career, business, it will become a very bad transit. From the perspective of relationship, this may make you very possessive. This may make you take certain decisions which you should not take. This may make you hyper, restless, and especially if you have a bad Mercury or Moon in your birth chart, you need to be very careful. Let's discuss what it is going to do for all Ascendant. You can watch this video as per your Ascendant, but if you don't know your Ascendant or Lagna, you can also watch this video as per your Moon sign. Please subscribe to the channel because subscription keeps you and me stay connected. I see that you're not subscribing enough, so do subscribe, share the video among family and friends, so that the word of Vedic astrology spreads. If you want to take my consultations, you can drop me an email. And if you want to book a Kundali PDF, which is system generated report, but a very elaborate 200 plus pages and report which has all your charts, all your Dasha, Mahadasha, technical calculations, an overview of next 10 years, your Sadhisati, basic remedies, and also a numerology section, which is an added bonus, which also covers the numerology part of your horoscope. This is a system generated, good to have. It will give you a peek view into your life, not a replacement of consultation, but a very good way of getting guidance in case you have some time and you want to go through the entire report. It may be generic, but it's very, very valuable. So do check that out. The link is in the description box. Let's connect on Instagram and on Patreon. The links are also there in the description box. Let's start the ascendant wise analysis. Aries. For Aries, if you observe, the position of Mercury is very unique. It is retrograding in the 5th house, then it is moving back to the 4th house. So therefore, it is going to make you work towards your real estate, towards your happiness. Also, how your children interact with your mother, how your children interact with your own home. All that is going to be the theme of this Mercury retrograde. For you, Buddha rules your 3rd house and 6th house, and therefore, this is definitely going to be a time where you would want to, for once, get some relief from all the sufferings that you are in. And when Mercury is going back from Magha to Ashlesha Nakshatra, and in between it will meet Venus also, this definitely shows that through proper communication, you will be able to resolve a lot of family issues. even if the issues are related to property disputes. Also, because Mercury rules the nervous system, it can make you very anxious. You may feel that you are losing the battle, you're losing the throne, and therefore you need to maintain your stand and allow your imagination to move in the positive sense. But also, on the other hand, do not communicate using harsh words, or out of anger, you should not speak something that is hurtful to the other people. A retrograde Mercury in the 4th house may also mean that people who have lungs related issue or chest related issue or any autoimmune disorder that impacts your lungs or chest area, breathing, should be careful. Overall, this is going to be a time where you are going to rethink on your happiness, you are going to rethink on things that make you peaceful, and how you do that is very important. You may become desperate and try to act out of desperation, and that is where the mistakes will happen. So be careful. Taurus. For Taurus, Mercury retrograde will happen from your 4th house to 3rd house, and Mercury is also going to go combust. So you can understand that there are certain things in your life where your peace of mind is more important than productivity, where your own happiness matters more than your own efficiency. You will also see that impacts or events related to your close family supersedes your own ambition, your own desire, and you may also have to apologize for something that you have said. You may have to backtrack your communication, and especially if you're in corporate, you have to be careful how you deliver your emails, how you deliver your communication. Because a Buddha in the 4th house is a midnight Mercury. It's like the mind which is very active in the night, and this goes in the 3rd house. 3rd house is basically for Gemini zodiac sign in the Kal Purush. For you, 3rd house is all about your emotional stability, your emotional integrity, and Mercury is going to question that, which also means that on one side you stand to gain financially, but on the other hand, it might mean that you are selling off some property for that. You are trying to disinvest, you are trying to bring in more investors, you are trying to diversify, and that will be the nature of Mercury. But the question is, your communication, your attempts, your steps that you will take will have the sense of comparison with someone, will have the sense of jealousy. So be very careful that you should not bring in the emotions related to jealousy, lust, greed during this time. But otherwise, short trips is very much possible. Family trips are very much possible. You might go on a house hunting during this time, and people who are trying to relocate to a different city, it's a very good opportunity for you. Gemini. In case of Gemini, your ascendant lord is Mercury. Your 4th lord is Mercury, and this Buddha goes retrograde from your 3rd house to your 2nd house. Therefore, you will have to be careful about your own efforts, your own communication towards your own family members. This also means that you will be more concerned about your financial security, and maybe now you're worried that you don't have a home. So now you will do a kind of a planning, or maybe even you will go and buy a property. Both commercial and residential property is a very much in a kind of a opportunity is there in your birth chart. This retrograde Mercury also means that you are more inclined towards taking consultation or discussion with your family members, because you might not be very confident about your decisions related to money in the past. What you should do is you should focus more on yourself. You should have that confidence, but still take professional advice. Say, one thing is taking advice from family members, that you should definitely do, but it is better to take advice of a person who is a subject matter expert. Say, you have a financial problem, talk to a CA. You have a legal problem, talk to a lawyer. Don't hesitate. Otherwise, you will not be able to figure out the data, and there will be mistakes which can result into financial losses. ego-based communication, where you are trying to display that you know, like display of knowledge when you don't know, can be really bad for you, especially financially. And this can create rift between cousins, so be careful. This can create rift due to property related matters between extended family members. So you need to be extra careful. This is the time to focus on your financial security. So create a plan that will do good for you and your family. Buying insurance policies, doing long-term investments is a good choice. Cancer. For Cancer zodiac sign, the transit of Mercury will happen in your second house and the first house. So Mercury's movement is from the second house, Dhana Bhav, to your first house, your identity. And this can make you overwhelmed with emotions. This can make you feel that you have too much of responsibility on your shoulder. Why? Because Mercury rules your 12th and the 3rd house. And therefore you will feel that you have a lot to do, lot to achieve, but time is less. You would want to desperately also communicate your emotions. You will crib a lot. You will try to release that energy through talking, through speaking out, and this might create a mistake. You might speak something that is unnecessary, which can be very bad for your career, for your relationship, especially for your marriage. So what should you do? Donate certain amount of money for people's education. Before you jumping into conclusion, you should know all the data, because without the knowledge of data, if you take any decision, you will be at loss. Also, there's some amount of money will be spent on you. So personality development will happen also. That's also one part of the Mercury transit. And people who want to travel abroad, who want to invest money in, say you want to travel to a different city, different country, different region of the world, this can trigger that travel. This can also fulfill your dreams. But you have to be careful, because Mercury is going to oscillate in the Gandanta. One mistake and you are stuck for that. So say for example, you have committed something, or you have told someone that you know a kind of a skill set. Now you have to prove. You have to prove that you know that. So it is better not to say lies during this time. It is always better to say truth. So if you are speaking the truth, you will be saved from certain disaster. But if you take the support of lies, then you will have to come true to your words, and you will have to prove that you were speaking the truth. And that can be dangerous, especially to your career and in your marriage, because all the lies that you will speak will be caught. Leo. In case of Leo, the Mercury retrograde will happen on your ascendant, and this Budh will move in the 12th house. So natural trajectory is that 12th lord, second lord will move into the 12th house, and your 11th lord is also moving in the 12th house. So that is the movement of Mercury. So you might end up buying things that are unnecessary. You might end up hoarding the resources because you are insecure in life. You might buy things that are luxurious, not that it is wrong, but you might have this feeling or emotion that that luxurious item will give you happiness and peace of mind, and it is a silent way to communicate your power and your capacity. It's kind of a show off. Not that everybody will do, but if you are thinking to do that, stop yourself, because that will be a bad choice. When Mercury is moving towards the 12th house, and it will actually move from Lagna to the 12th house, you have to take great care of your health, because this shows that you're losing the grip on your life. You're losing the financial grip on your life also. You might lose friends and family members. They may get distanced away because of your attitude. So you need to work on that, because Budh will also go combust, which means you might not even understand what is going around you. So you need to be very aware of the situation, aware of the circumstance, and try to be very communicative. Try to be available for people, those love you, those who are your well-wishers, and same, you should be available for them. Showing that you are too busy, showing that you are always on the toes, showing that you have a lot on your plate, only says that you want to be lonely. You want to walk alone. Now, if that's what your choice is, then it's fine. Mercury is going to support it. But if you don't want to do that, be humble and be grounded. Chanting Vishnu Sahasranam will be an excellent remedy for you. But on a positive note, this Mercury also shows travel to a foreign country. Maybe you are spending money to visit abroad, or you want to relocate to a different city. You want to start an export and import business. You want to open a skin clinic. That is very much on the cards when Mercury will move in the 12th house. So for you, expenses will rise, but a transformation and a change of personality is also possible. You need to, give up certain thoughts. So you have to heal. You have to let go of many things, especially unnecessary junk information, which also means that social media can become a very bad tool for you during this time. Try to filter it out and only watch content that is valuable. Virgo. Now, in case of Virgo, Mercury rules your first house. This Mercury moves in your 11th house from the 12th house. So it's actually a very good transit for you. Because although Mercury is crossing the Gandanta, this Budh is coming back from the 12th house to the 11th house. This is the recovery of losses. This is gain of financials in your life. You will gain back lost connections, lost friends, and if there is a communication that has been blocked, it can be resumed during this time. Your ascendant lord coming back in the 11th house shows that you are becoming victorious, you are winning the competition, and you are also becoming more and more famous. This also shows that you can also become desperate, especially if you are in the field of social media, if you are in the field of number games, if you love the numbers, then you would want to be one step ahead of many people. And for that, you are becoming, I will say, anxious. You are becoming overprotective about things. You can become nagging. You may also heavily rely on your friends and network circle to give you feedback. There is one advice. Try to also know your own importance and try to take matters in your own hand. A little bit of control is actually good. The problem is that if you are heavily dependent on other parties, people that are outside you, which are not you, then there can be problems because you don't have control over response time of somebody else. Which means that if you have a lot of interdependability, say you have a business and you have a business partner, you have vendors, or if you're into corporate and you have a team to work with, be humble and have lots and lots of patience. Libra. Now, in case of Libra, Mercury transit will happen from your 11th house to the 10th house. This means you will become desperate about promotion. You would want to talk to your bosses and supervisors about what you have done, because you may not be getting that appreciation, that feedback from the supervisors. Your worth is not known, and now you want everybody to know what your value is. But being desperate and communicating recklessly is not the right way of handling things. Rather, going structured way. Because Magha and Ashlesha are the two kind of energies which are heavily connected to winning the war, kind of bringing associates together, and then everybody makes you the king. So when that happens, you need to have all the structure laid out. Take one step at a time. Say you want promotion, then you should have a list of work that you have done so that you can present and prove with data, with facts and figures. But if you become emotional during this time, then your communication will be non-cohesive. It will be misunderstood most of the times, and you will not be able to actually convince anyone. So this is one time where your reputation can be damaged because of nothing, just because of a bad communication. So think about it. Also, if you see, Mercury is a very important planet. It's 9th lord for you. And when 9th lord is coming back to the 10th house, also shows that all your hard work will pay off, provided you are talking and moving in a structured fashion. Your 12th lord also comes in the 10th house, which shows that when you compare yourself with people that are outside your local space, you will find that you're in a very good spot. Say, for example, you compare your company's performance with a similar company, say in US or UK. I'm just giving an example. You will see that the way they work, you are working a little better than that. Just a way to understand how this Mercury will operate. Now, a planet coming back from the 11th through 10th also shows that you need to focus less on luck, more on hard work. You need to prove through karma that you can achieve a lot, and let your karma speak. Scorpio. Now, in case of Scorpio, Mercury transit is going to be very unique. It is coming from 10th house to 9th house. And this is the test of luck for you. But you need to focus more on your own abilities. You need to count your moves. You need to know what steps you have taken. You need to know whether you are in control or not in control. So it's more about self-analysis. Otherwise, Mercury's movement towards 9th house shows that you are too dependent on things or people that are senior to you. Nothing wrong in that. But if you are not doing things by yourself, then you are not doing any karma. And because of that, the results will also not come in your life. So here, advices if you take from senior people is okay. But you have to apply your own brain, and you must know that you are in control of the situation of your life. Not to become desperate about it, but you know that you are in the right track. On the other hand, on 22nd of August, Mercury will move back to the 9th house. So this is going to impact a lot of people who are into share trading, who are into speculative businesses, or who are trying to start or is in between the process of starting a new company, starting a new venture or a product. Why? Because for Scorpio, Mercury is the planet of transformation. Mercury rules your 8th house, and this 8th house lord goes in 9th house. This is also going to transform your belief system. You might suddenly idealize a person, you might suddenly find a guru, you might suddenly feel this connect with a god or with a person. And now you become an ardent follower, a kind of a devotee towards that vidya or even the person. Be very careful in that case, because question is that this is happening because of a retrograde Mercury. This might not be permanent. So when you are completely showing your support to someone, you must know that you are committing to something, and you also must know that what you are committing to. Unless you have the full picture, a simple affection is okay, dedication is okay, but complete surrender should only be done to Bhagwan Narayan or Bhagwan Mahashiv. Also, there can be challenges with your father or your guru, so speak wisely and speak in limited words. Sagittarius. In case of Sagittarius, Mercury is 50% of your Kendra Bhav. This Mercury goes from 9th house Leo to 8th house Karka Rashi. This means this is the time where your transformation of your destiny will happen. This is the time when the Buddha, which is your 7th and 10th house, mostly connected to career, will take a big shift, a big shape changing will happen. Remember, Mercury is also kind of a connecting link between different things in your life. You, your company, your job, your supervisors, your team members, your company's vision, your career's path, your domain, all is directly or indirectly connected by the Buddha, which is the messenger planet. When it goes in the 8th house, it will bring transformation, and something entirely new will happen in your life. The one thing that you should not do is putting all your eggs in one basket. If one thing goes wrong, everything will go down. This will fall like dominoes. So you need to find that the broken link or the sick link and try to fix it as soon as possible when Mercury becomes retrograde, and that is where the guidance of people who are senior to you will be very handy. This is the time when astrological guidance will also prove to be good. On the other hand, situation related to marriage can become slightly tensed. So when you are communicating with your life partner, be humble, be polite, be respectful, because this can create a lot of negative angles in your marriage, and once spoken, things cannot be taken back. So be polite and be humble. Capricorn. Now in case of Capricorn, Mercury transit is going to happen from your 8th house to the 7th house. So the two areas where it will have maximum impact is your married life, especially when you are connecting with the family of your life partner, and your business and investments. Say you are in banking sector, or you are a venture capitalist, or you are an investor. This is going to affect you adversely. Energies, when it transfers from 8th house to 7th house, generally the transformation will happen. The problem is that Mercury will be in Gandanta. Budh is information. Budh is also your Prarabdha Karma, your 6th house and 9th house lord. So definitely it is going to make you fix your mistakes, correct the loopholes, fix the loopholes, and figure out what's happening, what's wrong is with your marriage or with your company, with your business. But then you also must have the emotion or the feeling to surrender, to let go of your ego. Because if you want to be who you are, if you want to not change, then this retrograde Mercury will create extreme resistance in your life. Because this retrograde Mercury from 8th to 7th is not just bringing the energy of Buddha or Ashtama Bhav, but also of retrograde Saturn in your 2nd house, which means one mistake and family equation can just go haywire. And if you are already in kind of a family problem, if you are into family court cases, say a divorce case or similar to something like that, this can actually be very bad. Say you have said something and suddenly it backfires. So silence is going to be a big key to manage this retrograde Mercury in your marriage and business, and also listening to what the other person has to say before being too judgmental or passing a comment. Now for Aquarius ascendant and even moon sign, a retrograde Mercury is a kind of Mercury that moves from the 7th house to 6th house. Now if you see, retrograde Mercury in the 5th, 7th and 6th house is a kind of energy that drags the emotions of the Saptama Bhav and dumps it in the Ashlesha Nakshatra of the 6th house. You will find it very difficult to manage your duties and roles during this time. Because if you see, the Mercury is your 8th lord. It is already in your 7th house, and 8th lord is getting retrograde. This can create tensions between you and your in-laws. This can create tensions between you and your own children. So you need to be careful there. Also, you will have to be careful when you're dealing with skin-related issues, or you're dealing with issues related to anxiety, stress, trauma, or any other mental or problems related to spine or brain. You will have to be very careful. Why? Because 6th house is Roga Bhava. And what you have in the 6th house is Karka Rashi, water-based zodiac sign. Now on 9th of August, 4 days after the Mercury goes retrograde in Leo zodiac sign, Moon and Ketu comes together in the sign of Virgo in your 8th house. So this is one date where praying to Bhagwan Rudra Shiv is going to be very good. And this is one date where you will have to be very, very careful, because on one side Mercury is moving back in Magha Nakshatra towards Ashlesha in the 6th, but 6th Lord Moon is in the zodiac sign of Mercury, joins with Ketu in the 8th. This can cut down emotions. This can make you do something which you never wanted to do, and it can destroy the relationship with your life partner, your business partner, your investors, and your in-laws family. This can also create skin related issue, lungs related issue for a lot of people. Communicable disease, we know this is a viral season. You have to be careful. You need to improve your immunity. So eat right and speak right. Pisces. Now for Pisces, Mercury transit is a very unique transit, because this transit is happening from your 6th house to your 5th house. But on the other hand, Mercury rules your 4th and 7th house. So Mercury rules your peace, your happiness, the balance of life. And when the Mercury goes retrograde from the 6th, you will accelerate paying off your debts. So suddenly, for the first 10-15 days, you might feel that suddenly your problems might have increased. For like, there are some days where nothing goes right and you are suffering. But suddenly everything becomes fine. And the moment Mercury comes in the 5th house, from 22nd of August, things becomes much more easier, much more simpler. But on the other hand, you might also have this emotion that you know better, you have seen things, you know many things, especially if you are above 50 years of age, you might have this emotion that you know better than the youngsters, the young generation, and you will start giving unnecessary advice. Don't do that. If you want to speak something, find the right avenue and platform and put your words there. Write a journal, note, design it in a nice manner and present it. It will help all those people who needs help. But when you try to interfere, there will be problems. You will be mistaken as a person who wants to meddle between affairs of two people. So stay away from being an intermediary unless you are asked. Also, don't give advice if you are not asked. On the other hand, financially, this can clear off a lot of debts. Health-wise, you need to be very careful about your gut health. So eat right. You need to sleep. You need to give proper rest to your body, because if you don't give, this can create inflammation in the body. Now, 6th house is also about your loans and debts. And this means that this can clear off your loans, and also your enemies can now understand your value. I won't say your enemies will become friends, but they may no longer become your enemy, because you have understood how to handle these energies. So healing is one way which will handle energies psychologically, and practicality is one way by which you can handle things in real life.